Welcome to chapter 2 of Christian demonology. Let's get right to it. In the previous chapter we covered how the devil is a liar. Even when he manifests, he lies. In this chapter I want to go over the devil's kingdom, because you're living in it. If you thought this was God's kingdom, you are wrong. God's kingdom is spiritual. The devil runs a visible world we live in. Some of you may know this already. In that case, I'm proud of you. But I'll go over what we live in and how it's a mechanism designed to make us fail. Jesus Christ called us out to do so much more than just work, sleep, and watch TV or play video games. As I write this, I am guilty of that too. Don't worry. And God understands you. He's not going to come down and yell at you or ask you why you aren't casting out demons, giving money to the poor, visiting lots of prisoners, visiting the hospitals. We should be more active, but we aren't. Why aren't we? The answer is in the mechanism. We live in a world that taught us to fail. Work 8 hours, sleep 8 hours, and have 8 for yourself. I'm sorry, but that's not enough to really live your life. We have prices on our heads. We sell our lives to the devil for a few bucks. Of course, God understands us. He works around that with his infinite and all-knowing power. Unless you work in a church, maybe you feed the poor for a living. In that case, good job. The only real solution I see to this is to be successful in a way that provides you with more time. The devil often says, the root of all evil is money, but that isn't how the verse goes. You see, the devil twisted that up. Not only does that scare people from being rich, it also takes power away from the Christians. Here's what it really says. In Timothy 6:10 we read, "For the love of money is the root of all evil." Keyword is love. You can be a broke person and fall in love with money. In fact, only people who don't have something can truly covet or love that which they don't possess. I mean, get real. You don't drool over something you already have. You simply take care of it. Now, don't get me wrong, there are greedy people out there. But humble Christians have the Holy Spirit and are highly unlikely to fall for greed to the point in which one decays or goes spiritually dead. Another verse that is misinterpreted is Matthew 19:24, which says, "Verily I say to you that a rich man shall hardly enter the kingdom of heaven." He goes on to say it is easier for a camel to go into the eye of the needle. If we stop there, then yes, it clearly says the rich will never see heaven. I guess being rich is stronger than Christ's death on the cross? No. If we read further, we see that's not the case. In 19:25, the apostles are amazed and seem hopeless, asking, "Then who will enter heaven?" Implying that if the rich who love their money can't be saved, then who can enter heaven? Also implying that every single person is guilty of loving something more than Jesus, to the point that verse 19:24 condemns everyone without hope. But the following verse actually makes sense. 19:26 says, "But Jesus beheld them and said unto them, With men this is impossible, but with God all things are possible." This statement isn't flawed, but shows we are weak as people and need to rely on God and His mercy for areas we fall short. It also shows us how early we have died, but were rescued dramatically by Jesus' death and resurrection. Now, in this subject of the devil's kingdom, I'll go on more about how this is the devil's kingdom. Satan marked his territory. For those of you that don't believe me, he marks almost everything in the media and satanic symbolism, which includes the number 666, snake eating another snake, the covering of one eye, and so on. If you want a detailed breakdown of this, I recommend this YouTube channel. I'll call for an uprising. The title sounds strong, but it implies a spiritual uprising. Just putting that out there. And that ends this the second chapter of Christian demonology. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll keep working on it and see if there's any feedback for these 2 chapters I've posted. Thanks for watching.